Hello again, RoyZesch.REALTOR here with Coldwell Banker Legacy in San Angelo. Today I want to talk to you about the things we need to do to get your house ready to sell. So this is the time you and I are already talking, we're getting together the price, getting prepared to list the house. Whatever your time schedule is, it may be a couple of weeks that we have to prep, or maybe even longer than that, maybe a couple of months. But it's the things that we need to do to make sure when it goes on the market, it's as ready as we can possibly make it to sell. Because what we want to do is get it out there where it gets sold quickly, that it doesn't just sit on the market. So some of that's pricing, but a lot of it's the things we're going to talk about today. So money is always an issue at this point. So one of the things we're going to look at, what I'm going to try to do in this video, is start with the things that cost little or nothing and work our way up to the things that are going to cost more money. And so if you can't afford to put any money into it, you need to get out of it without putting any money into it, then we're going to still start with these basic things. So the most basic of that is just cleaning. And this doesn't cost anything but time. Just going out and look at the junk that's there, do the deep cleaning, the wiping the baseboards, do all those little things, because it's a game of first impressions. If you go to a car lot to buy a car, or you go into a retail store to buy furniture, and it's dirty, when you first walk in there, it gives you a negative impression. It makes it a lot less likely to buy. So the cleaning is a big, big thing, and that's going to remain true throughout the process, because the thing with cleaning is it doesn't last, or at least around my house it doesn't. So that's going to be the first thing. Then the decluttering. You know, and I'll talk to you about it as we go through the house. If there's furniture in a room that feels like there's just a little too much furniture, stuff like that, well, then we're going to look at trying to move some of that out and just make the house look a little bit more open. It also helps make it look a little bit bigger. So that's one of the things you can do. And those are the ones we really absolutely have to. And we want to try to do these things also before we try to do our pictures and video of the house. Because if you don't, then we're showing pictures and video before these little tweaks were done. So then we get into some things that can cost a little bit of money, a little or a lot, depending on kind of what your situation is. The next thing would be painting, touching up, those type of things. So, you know, some people will go in, and it does help particularly if you have distinct colors that aren't neutral. The closer it is to neutral, the easier it is to sell the house. Now that doesn't mean that your bright pink bedroom that your daughter loves, that the buyer's daughter might walk in and fall in love with as well. So that can work. It's not that you have to go in and do these things, but if you go in and paint it a neutral color, then you're much more less likely to offend any potential buyer. And that's basically what you're trying to accomplish. But you're also much less likely to really excite one. So it's a risk-reward thing, and it's never, because you don't know the buyers that are going to be coming in, it's hard to know exactly. But particularly if there's dings in the paint, anything like that, then those are the kind of things you want to consider going and having it painted. And this can be, you know, moderately expensive to very expensive, depending on the size of the house and if you have it professionally done versus doing it yourself. If you do it yourself, just make sure you do a good job. You keep it clean, neat and clean. You don't have, you know, stains on the baseboards, things like that, where paint dripped and didn't get cleaned up good. Make sure it's done where it looks sharp, because again, it's that first impression. When those buyers walk into your house, they're going to get an impression of it immediately, and we want that to be a positive impression. Next thing I want to talk about is repairs. Repairs are something, more than likely, in the end of the process, the buyers are going to do an inspection, and they're going to come up and say, hey, you need to fix these things. So if you can, it's better to have these things fixed proactively, particularly if they're visible things. If it's something that the buyer's going to be able to see when they walk into the house, a drawer that doesn't open in the cabinet, something like that, then it's really critical to get those kind of things fixed. But again, sometimes finances are an issue, and it gets kind of difficult to be able to afford those things, and so you're not able to do those right up front. So you can get by with that, but again, more than likely, later in the process, you're going to have to get them done, or you're going to take a price hit. And what you'll find out in a price hit is usually the price hit is bigger than the repairs that you're talking about. So you may have something, repairs are going to cost $2,000 or $3,000, and you end up taking a $5,000 price hit. But again, if that's the only option we have, then that's what we'll do. And then the next thing to look at is improvements. And improvements, you know, can run the gamut, starting from, you know, maybe it's doing popcorn off the ceiling or something like that. A lot of the improvements you're not likely to get your money back out of. So if you spend money removing all the popcorn ceilings, repainting all the ceilings and doing stuff like that, you may or may not get your money back as far as a strict cost benefit. But if you remove the popcorn and sell your house a month quicker, it may justify the effort and expense you went into it. So the smaller end of improvements might make sense. The larger end almost never do, unless the house is just horribly dated. It probably doesn't make sense to go in and put granite countertops in and redo your kitchen. It's just, you're going to spend more than you're going to get back out of it. So anyway, just kind of some of the thoughts of the process and the things you're going to need to do. Again, we want your house, when it goes on the market, to be picture perfect and ready. Clean, decluttered, painted nice, everything looking its absolute best, because that's what's going to help it sell the fastest, which is the goal we want. That's going to be the best for you in most circumstances, or make it sell in the date you want. And a lot of times we can structure the date. If the house, somebody's ready to jump on it, but they'll wait a few weeks if that helps fit your dates and stuff. So, any more questions about any of those things you need to do to get your house ready to sell, just give me a call. RoyZesch.REALTOR, 325-268-0775. Thank you.